When Canon released their first 35mm, I was actually impressed. It features stabilization, a decent macro capability, as well as some pretty fast aperture at f1.8. Still to this day, it's an incredible option for a 35mm prime, especially at its price point. As of today, however, it's no longer the only at that focal range because Canon just announced their newest 35mm f1.4 L VCM. And in this video, we're going to take a look at the spec sheet as well as figure out if you should dump yours and get this one instead. So good to be seen, and it's even better to see you. Welcome back to yet another episode. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the lens that has been on Canon's pipeline for a long time, but has finally arrived. The Canon 35mm f1.4 L VCM. Wow, they're just trying to figure out ways to... has been long awaited and rightfully so. Its popular focal length makes it an incredible versatile lens, especially for wedding photographers like myself who love a nice environmental portrait of their couples. First, let's discuss the fact that unlike its predecessor on this mount, it now has additional stops of light at f1.4, which definitely comes in handy for low light situations in which I, as well as many of you watching this video, constantly find yourself during nuptials ceremony. If you're thinking that going from f1.8 to f1.4 won't make much of a difference, well, guess again. If you know, you know. The second cool feature I saw on Canon's launch is the fact that it'll now have an attachable rear filter holder that can be removed to incorporate any sort of filter that you want living perpetually in between the lens and the sensor. This is more of a video thing to a lot of people, but I know that my videographers won't mind having this availability if I were to pull the trigger on this lens. Speaking of video, this lens is considered hybrid due to the fact that it comes with an iris ring for manual focusing. I hear it's silent. Again, if you're into cinematic video shoots with focus pulling and things of that nature, you're going to find this extremely useful, but it'll only be available to be used in video mode, but that's to be expected. The last feature I considered a breath of fresh air is the introduction of the voice coil motor, aka VCM. A voice coil motor, according to Canon, is completely new that has 4 moving elements that add a little oomph and also aids into the focus breathing, which in this lens is practically non-existent. Two other fun things to mention is the fact that it features a 67mm filter thread, as well as apparently it's lighter than the EF counterpart we've come to love. On the downside, this version will not be featuring image stabilization, but I've got 2 reasons why you shouldn't worry too much. For starters, at 35mm, you probably won't need much, and furthermore, most mirrorless bodies now feature IBIS, which shouldn't be a cause for concern if you need it. Now, the question is, should you invest in this lens if you already have the previously released f1.8 version of this lens? I'm leaning towards no, unless, of course, you're in dire need of that extra stop of light, as well as considering getting into hybrid photo video coverage. I'm definitely going to consider getting it because it's half of the 2 lenses that I'm currently don't have in my arsenal. The other, of course, being the famous 85mm f1.2, which is an absolute dream to have. Who is this lens for? Everybody. I can't think of a single photographer on this planet who wouldn't benefit from having a great 35mm of this caliber in their bag. It's great for everything. Will you be getting it? Let me know down in the comments. If you got a little something out of this video, stick that thumb you know where. And if you want to see more videos about upcoming year reviews and how to grow your photography business, then hey, stick around by subscribing. I'd love to have you. I love being able to provide free value, and I want to thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow.